we are somehow or the other tamed by our habits. Habits are the foundation of your success, your career, your life. Now, I'm sure you have heard about this book called Atomic Habits. I'm sure you guys have seen, heard, or maybe read that particular book. If you haven't, then please do. Or if you are not interested in reading that, maybe you do not have time, right? We always claim that we do not have time to read books. So if you do not, then you can watch out some videos. Those videos are available on YouTube, where a book review is there already. If you ask me, I do not recommend any specific person, but I got to know about this particular book and I was really affected in a positive way rather after seeing that particular video, which is composed and narrated by Mr. Ankur Warikoo. So I would suggest you, if you can, watch that particular video and you will get to know about a lot about this particular book. So please do watch out for that. On the other hand, for me, typically, if you're asking me, what is typically a habit? We know that atomic habits are a part of life. Yes, we have different type of habits, and when we were coming up, typically in our childhood, we do get to see people are performing a lot of different activities, and then we get interested, and then we start following that. We start repeating, copying, whatever you may say, and those activities become a little bit hobby for me. So first you create a hobby, then from hobby it becomes a habit. Now, how habits can lead you towards your success. So as I said one of the other videos previously, that if you want to be rich, then you have to follow a certain lifestyle, right? You cannot just follow a normal person's lifestyle and become a billionaire. No, there are different lifestyles for that. You do not have time to pick up a newspaper if it falls on the ground. So people don't have time who are typical billionaires. They can't afford to lose a minute. Now, on the basis of that, how we can develop good habits. So if you want to know that, or maybe you want to experience, go for that particular book and read it. It's a great one. On the other hand, apart from that particular book, do we really get interested and attracted towards great habits? How would you define? I personally believe it's a relative term once again. It depends on a particular person and it varies from one particular person to another, right? But on the other hand, I can easily talk about the negative habits. We do get interested, maybe, unknowingly, unintentionally, but we get attracted, we get deviated by those, right? And nowadays, people do talk about social media and all those. So yes, habits are pretty important, but on the other hand, it's very difficult to create habits for yourself. Discipline and all those parts will come into picture. I'm not going into all those, right? I'm not an expert in that. So that's the reason I mentioned about one of the videos. So you can follow other videos as well. My only intention for creating this particular video is to inform you or rather share with you that we are somehow or the other tamed by our habits. How many of you love pets? I believe most of us, right? We love dogs, cats, and other animals, right? Now, we try to tame them. We say that they are part of our family, but somehow or the other, we always try to tame them. Now, in the similar way, our habits try to tame us. Everybody is saying that you need to come up with some habits. You need to follow, right? But I would say we are typically tamed by our habits. Why? Different activities, habits are already available in the market. You can see it, you can watch it, and of course, you can apply it. So I'm not going into that, but you can only be tamed by your habits if you let your habit to tame you. Now, why I'm saying this? See, it's not very easy to follow a strict guideline or a disciplined life. It's not easy nowadays because a lot of business are there and different businesses are going to hunt you to go towards a different way towards a wrong way to make money for others. Now, for that reason, it's very, very difficult nowadays to stick to one particular path and stick to some of the habits which are really working great for you. Maybe you don't know, but you should somehow or the other, or rather you try to get to know them. But it's not easy. Honestly, it's not easy. But the way we tame our pets, can we tame our habits in that manner? Remember, I'm afraid we can't, right? Because habits are intangible products. You cannot. But you get used to it. You get attracted towards different activities. And that's how it gets built up, right? But on the other hand, how do we get to know what are the habits that we can incorporate so that we can get benefited out of it? That's a $1 million question. And for that reason, I always suggest stand in front of a mirror. Ask yourself, find it out, right? At the end of the day, you can get suggestions, but what about decision? No one can take your decision. No one can take charge of your life. It's not possible, right? So yes, find it out. What are the habits? But yes, we are somehow or the other getting attracted towards negative habits. So why am I saying negative? Because those are not effective. Those are deteriorating, considering your health, mind, everything, right? So do not get tamed by your habits. Try to tame your habits. And then probably alter. I would say alter. Not every habit is typically good. But somehow or the other, if you get attracted, if you get habituated, the way we said, some person's natural habitat. So it's a part of acquiring habits. And our society is somehow or the other there, right? Which is actually producing a lot of different habits. And we typically are getting confused. So we should not blame, right? We should not blame at any point of time, because you are doing it, whom to blame? You cannot deny, right? If you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't consume it. Yeah, right. As simple as that. If you're consuming it, that means you're liking it. Availability should be there, but it's up to you what to choose and what not to. So for that reason, I always suggest, and I will say, that habits are there everywhere. You can see, you can watch, you can learn. And it's up to you to pick one of them, or maybe multiple of them, to get used to it and to follow. So I always say, follow a process. Habits are also process. You need to do it repeatedly. Iteration, right? So iterating your habits every day can lead you to somewhere probably you want to. And as a lot of people mention, that you don't want success, you want happiness.